time to be a leader, and what a time to have to figure out strategy for the future. In Richland, too, we've got a lot of things going on with this COVID challenge and all the things associated with remote instruction and dual modality instruction going into phase two. There's just a lot of things out there that really make us um, need to pause and really learn to adapt our strategy and maybe think in different ways. And this presentation is a quick way for you guys to see how Brightidea might help you do that. I went to a presentation a couple days ago. It was really helpful talking about some building blocks for an adaptive strategy, and a few I'll highlight here are that we really need to find ways to have real-time insights into our people, what's going on in their minds and their heads. We need to crowdsource ideas and solutions because there's no way that we as leaders are going to be able to think of them all ourselves or read them all ourselves, or the contacts we have that we hear from are not sufficient in such a challenging time to make the right decisions for strategy for the future. And then we need to also continually scan the environment. We need to make sure that we're perpetually and continually scanning our environment to know where we should go, which also leads us to think about how we can distribute our decisions and our decision making amongst more folks. Having people be able to do little sprints, which is a way to have a small team to try something small, so we fail small, fail forward. And then this idea of continual process. And I feel like the Brightidea platform is a really good way for us to start thinking like that even more and more, and to find some really good solutions towards the future. What Brightidea can do to help us with an adaptive strategy is provide this platform that engages technology to help people to think creatively and collaboratively in order to innovate new ideas that will help us improve our district and our schools. It helps to facilitate an idea pipeline, taking ideas down the path from idea to implementation. It helps to share ideas across the district to level the playing field of who can see what, so that ideas can flow. It also can provide a back-end workflow of those ideas. And also an amazing thing you do is to launch challenges in specific categories that will surface really valuable solutions to our current problems that help us to align to our future vision and to help us to keep that adaptive strategy in mind. It's very important that we get as much understanding and insight from our people as we can, and Brightidea is going to do a great job of that. What we want to do is make sure we can engage our people first in a platform like Brightidea, so that if leadership is really engaged in wanting to hear from people, that will actually lead to some outcomes that will be positive and supportive, which will encourage more people to join in, which will increase impact. And then as time goes on, it'll scale out so that more people are participating, more people are being heard, more ideas are being surfaced. So we really transform the district. And as Dr. Davis wants us to do, move ahead in a way that really catapults us beyond this crisis into a new way of doing things. And I think we have a lot of good ideas and a lot of good minds out there with a lot of heart, and we should be tapping into them to be able to listen to their thoughts and ideas and to put those ideas to work, even if in small ways. The progress of the Brightidea platform since inception in 2018 is that we started to host incubator team pages here. An innovation called the R2 Lesson Tank was begun, which is a great and ongoing project where teachers can go on and share resources and links and their own Google Docs and creations with other teachers across the district. An amazing place for them to share, and we hope that they'll be even doing more of that during phase two when they have their collaboration time. Donna hosted the 99 Bright Ideas Challenge before I came on board, and a lot of great ideas went to the incubator as a result of that and got some funding. I hosted a Condor Divergent Learner Challenge last year that was just school specific, and that can be done. We can host events just for a certain team or school. I'm going to tell you more about the hackathon and the equity challenge in just a little bit. And we also have another thing going on called the Reopening Schools app that's going on right now. We had one in the spring called the COVID Conversations. Reopening Schools is basically a way for any staff member to log in and give us ideas about phase one, phase two, phase three in any area across the district. Could be a really powerful tool if you guys would publicize and use that to get ideas and gain insights from people all across the district who have amazing thoughts but maybe no place to go with them. In the past 12 months, we've hosted 7 initiatives across a couple different topics. We have engaged 1,868 unique people on the platform. 129 people have submitted, 163 have voted for different initiatives, and 255 have commented on the ideas of others. So we're seeing a growth in collaboration and engagement on the platform, and we hope to continue that. Last year, as far as innovations that were submitted, that's the ideas, there were 233, 572 comments, and over 2,000 votes for different ideas, which is basically voting up the ideas that you like the best. Some of our top innovations that have come out of the incubator or out of the Brightidea platform are a parent university that's going on right now to help Spanish-speaking families. Another group that's working on resources for parents to help simplify their work as they work with their students with technology, especially. A literacy layer focusing on a project where a couple of teachers and media specialists are working on diversifying our curriculum and our books. Students mentoring students program is going on. Family Intervention Services is doing a redo of their program and a rethink. And we've got 125 lessons on that R2 lesson tank that I mentioned on the last slide. The platform can show you participation and how different initiatives over time increased and showed people participating. This is, from the hackathon or the Reopening Schools Task Force, and the biggest one, of course, was the Equity Challenge last spring. They got sort of cut short in many ways by the COVID crisis. One really cool success story that came out of Brightidea last year was we hosted our first ever hackathon. We had students from 4 of the 5 high schools all get together. They submitted ideas online on the site. Students commented on the ideas of others. They joined teams together. Some participated virtually. We had actually 90 come into the actual event back in March. It was a great event. 12 teams pitched their ideas in the end of the evening. 3 projects got a green light, but then COVID disrupted our plans. And it was really an amazing day of collaboration, ideation, and development of those students' design thinking skills and ways of learning to hack solutions at their school. Because if students can do it, why don't we let them do it? Let's find ways to help them and support them as they want to rethink and redo their school environment. One quote, this is a rough quote, was happening. We heard a phone call of a student calling their family, and the student, roughly basically said, Mom, I'm at R2I2, and I don't want you to pick me up at 3 anymore, which was their original plan. This thing is not over until 6:30. Students are really engaged. It was a powerful time, and Brightidea helped us to launch it. The virtual conversation helped us to launch the physical event. Another success story was our Educational Equity Challenge. Staff and faculty shared all their different ideas about how to improve equity across any department of R2. It was held in February and part of March. Again, COVID disrupted a lot of the work, but 35 submissions were posted and 266 comments, over 1,700 votes, and 911 people jumped onto the challenge across the district to read about it, learn about it, and be a part of it. 12 teams were going to be ready to pitch, but then COVID. 4 teams are now still working, and they've joined the Innovation Incubator that I'm working with them this year on projects. A lot of great sharing and camaraderie, good conversation, empowerment across the whole district. Teachers who didn't know each other, commenting, sharing ideas and resources and links together. A few comments of some of the ideas that were posted, people would be encouraging by saying, "Great idea, count me in for support. This would be such a wonderful addition to Richland too." Just a lot of great comments and conversation can happen on this platform in ways that can surface ideas and people that are really willing to work and go the extra mile to make things really amazing for our students and also for our faculty. I've already shared with many of you a platform demo, which I'll put onto the link of this email as well, if you want to check out more of the specifics and details about what's on this platform. And what we'd ask from you as a leader is to commit to running one initiative on Brightidea that would help you to scan for and crowdsource ideas for a challenge you have. And then from there to resource and fund the development of one of the ideas or a few of the ideas that are uncovered as a result of the challenge. And then just overall, just be a champion of various insights from different people and thinking innovatively and collaboration as key. Just be a champion of those things on your team. Really be looking for those because that's how we're going to make a better future and brighter future for our students. And being willing to experiment, to even fail, to make mistakes, and to move forward as a result of those mistakes with an adaptive strategy where we keep the mission in mind, the mission up front, which is in partnership with our community. We will develop global citizens of tomorrow, citizens who are prepared to lead and excel in their chosen pathways. So in order to get to that mission, it's going to take a lot of people. It's going to take a lot of ideas. It's going to take making decisions about ideas. And I hope that Brightidea can help us to do that more effectively. Thanks for your time.